I haven't, my hair's all over the place. I don't care. So anyways, I have an interesting way that I'm going to be doing my garden in containers because like my husband said, we cannot spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on this and it makes sense. He's right. The goal is to save us money, and we have to do this container to move it with us so I don't have to leave my food behind. Hey y'all, I'm Sherra. Me and my husband live here in Rooted Homestead. We're self-efficient in motion, growing food, making herbal remedies, and yes, we've even pooped in buckets while living off-grid. I'm a cancer conqueror, holistic healer, and thriving with HEDS. Together, we're here to show you how to get rooted, live simply, and heal deeply, no matter where you are. Let's grow wild and rise one root at a time. So I had to find a way that it's going to make sense money-wise and keep it portable so when we move, it can go. So my husband had an idea of making a temporary raised bed, but with the material that it cost even to do a temporary one, we were still like iffy about it being worth it if it was going to save us money in the long run. Now, mind you, I eat all organic, so bill's pretty high, and I'm not compromising that. Okay. So we had to think of things that made sense. I mean, my husband went on an adventure yesterday, and we came up with some interesting ways to try that I'm very excited to share with y'all, and so we can see how this goes. Long-term goal here is to take this garden with us, staying rooted to my beliefs, and our goals here is to take this with us and grow all summer long in containers and make as much food as we need to harvest to make it through the winter. That's my goal. So everything that I'm doing here is going to be put on the truck when we move and taken with us. So we have these containers here that now I can only find triple the price. So I have an interesting way that I am going to do my gardening. So we had to think of things that made sense. I mean, my husband went on an adventure yesterday, and we came up with some interesting ways to try that I'm very excited to share with y'all, and so we can see how this goes. So the whole idea is for this to be portable, so I don't have to leave my garden behind, and to have enough food from this for what we're growing to make it all winter and feed us during the summer. This is a new part for me. Like, we have lived off grid. We have lived with solar panels, pooped in buckets, did the whole compost bucket system. We've done all that. Okay. And this is new for me. Growing on the land, done it. Trying to do it all in buckets, not done it before. So I know it can be done. I see people growing in buckets all the time. I just don't know if they grow enough in these buckets that makes them through the winter or not. I don't know this for sure. So I have to do it. I have to try it for myself and see for myself. And I'm a very strong believer that if we don't, and I've believed this way since I was young, if we don't learn how to live off the land, that it's coming to, well, my belief is if we didn't learn how to live off the land, that it was going to come to a time in our life that if you didn't know how to live off the land, you were going to suffer if you even made it through. And I believe that time is now. All right. I'm not here for popularity contests. I'm not here to care if you agree with me or not. Okay. I believe that life comes in cycles, and there was a time that we had to survive off the land, and I believe that time is back. And I always believed that that would happen. And I feel like this is it. I believed all my life that if you didn't start learning how to live off the land, that you weren't going to survive. My dogs are running crazy. So I'm not willing to give up my gardening. I feel like this has to be done, and I got to make it movable. I got to make it where I could transport my garden from here to the new land. No, we haven't found the land yet. Our goal is to get closer to our grandkids. Hey, come back here. Sorry. our, our goal is to get closer to our grandkids, an oldest daughter, and a new baby on the way. So that's the next transition in our life. You can tell, as you can tell, that is doing great. And I think because of that, now I'll be able to separate them. You know, I have tried these little containers. No, this doesn't work for me. It just don't work for me. This, I put the lid on so it acted like a, you know, like a little miniature greenhouse. That's what the plastic bags were. It acted like its own little greenhouse, and I kept it zipped, and it stayed moist. I don't know what magic people have when they're using, and I use an organic potting soil seed starter. Nope, didn't like it. Yeah, I can't. I just ain't got time to stay out there and wet it. It's like I had to keep it moist, wet it 2 or 3 times a day, or it was dry and the seeds wouldn't grow. This is my experience, and I know people do better than I did with that. But so I had to make it work for me. So how I made it work for me is I had to create my own little greenhouse and make things easier for me as I could. So here's one that didn't do good. Okay. So I lined it with either cardboard or parchment paper and dirt. And it was amazing. It did amazing. But it got to where I had to separate the seeds and the roots, and before they got too big and got to entwine, but they were still too young to do that, and just the transplanting, it didn't work. They died. A lot of them died. Now these are tomatoes I just started off with tomato seeds, just as experiments, see how this would work for me. Not seeds, tomato itself. Like I just sliced the tomatoes and laid them on dirt, and I let them sit there for like 48 hours, just like that. And then I covered up with dirt and let them grow, and voila. I don't know how it's going to go separating the seeds. I'm separating them because this is what the other ones look like, and it was too young to separate them. So we'll see. Anybody got any suggestions on that one? Let me know. These are different things from watermelons to pumpkins to acorn squash, all organic, all organic. My herbs, they're taking a beating. Where's my? Oh, I think he moved that back here. Some more stuff on here somewhere. I have loofah sponges, and they did great. The loofah sponges I did do in the baggies. Here's some of the ones that didn't take off in the baggies. Like they just didn't do good. Um, so I had some good and some failures. My loofah sponges, I need to find those. I think they're underneath that plastic. Was covering all this up time because the weather here has been insane. So my basic goal is to keep my homesteading going, keep all the organic growing the best of my ability, make it to where I can transport it to our new land with enough food to preserve for the winter. So that's where we're at on my journey right now. Trying to see if I left out anything. It seems like there's something else I wanted to tell y'all or share with y'all. But it's okay. We'll start right there. This is the beginning of this transition. And we'll talk more about how I got here, how we got here, our our adventure getting here, which has definitely been one. I always try to give you as much information as I can in the videos, like herbal remedies and such like that. Tell you a little bit more about myself. I am an accredited holistic practitioner. Everything that I am certified in has been part of my journey to healing myself through cancer, HEDS. HEDS gave me arthritis in my shoulders. That's all in remission. So everything that I learned along the way, I just got certified in it because I knew through my journey, my wellness journey, that I wanted to help others thrive as well. The journey hasn't always been easy. It's been ups and downs. I ended up with medical PTSD through it all. I found ways to cope with that through shadow work, herbalism, of course, yoga psychology. so many different avenues that I pulled all together. I have ebooks, courses. I have a free subscription where I developed a community for us all to come together and share, where you have one-on-one with me, and I'll share my information, my knowledge with y'all, and support y'all along the way. I need to cover up my plants. And for the night, I'll tell you, Tennessee weather has been crazy. It's been cold. I keep saying March came in like a lion and out like a lamb, but April came in like a bitch. So I invite you on my journey. Feedback, please. If y'all have feedback for the plants on what you think I could line them with to try to help, at the very least, minimize plastic, you know, leaching into my food, I'd love to hear it. Like I said, I'm going with I'm thinking about just going with parchment paper or garden, like for the weeds. But I don't know. Combination of both, maybe. So that's the next transition in our life. All right, so I gotta figure out how to move this garden, keep this garden growing, stick to my roots about living off the land, and all organic. Find land, new land, sell this land, and transport everything over to the new land. Get chickens, goats. I had chickens. I let the chickens go to a new home. Chickens, goats, and sheep on the new land. So, welcome to my adventure and our new transition.